Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
It's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. I go by the name of Charlamagne the God. Drop on the clues bombs for Glorilla, man. Watch Glorilla. I think that was my first time ever seeing Glorilla perform this weekend at the iHeartRadio Music Festival. She actually closed the festival. She was the last act to go on Saturday night. So that was fun to watch, man. Salute the Big Glow. It's time for Front Page News with Mimi Brown. Good morning, Mimi.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing this? Or how you doing, Charlamagne?
I am blessed, black, and highly favored. I would do NFL scores, but I don't care because the Cowboys got their ass kicked yesterday. So I don't care about nothing else that happened in the league. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Well, go Birds. I know you don't want to hear that.
Nope.
Go Birds.
So what we got in Front Page News?
Yeah, we're going to start off this morning in Arizona, where tens of thousands packed State Farm Stadium for the funeral and public memorial of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. A 31-year-old activist, Turning Point co-founder, was shot and killed less than 2 weeks ago at a campus event in Utah. Now, President Trump, he headlined the service, calling Kirk a martyr for American freedom and vowing to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. At times, Trump slipped into campaign-style lines, but making it clear he treats his opponents differently than Kirk did. Let's listen to that message.
He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
You know what's so interesting about that? He said that at Charlie Kirk's memorial, but that's how some people feel about Charlie Kirk. Like that's the same rhetoric that the right was pushing back against last week when they were saying things like, how could y'all celebrate, his passing, which I don't condone, by the way, but that is exactly the same energy that he brought to the memorial by saying he don't care about his opponents. You don't want to. What do you say? I hate my opponents. I don't want to see my opponents succeed.
I don't want to see them win.
I don't want to see them win. Jeez.
Yeah. All of the things. And so on the opposite spectrum of that, Kirk's widow, Erica, she delivered maybe the most emotional moment of the day, telling the crowd she forgives her husband's accused killer. Let's listen to that moment.
I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love. Love for our enemies and love for those who persecute us.
And so she got a standing ovation after saying that she forgives her husband's killer. Vice President J.D. Vance, he also spoke, telling the stadium the day was not a funeral, but a revival, saying Kirk's death will spark a Christian awakening. Donald Trump Jr., he was also there. He urged supporters to carry the movement forward, saying when they took his life, a million more Charlies stepped up to fill the void. Other speakers included Kirk's pastor, Rob McCoy, senior Trump advisors, Stephen Miller, cabinet officials like Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, the Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, and tech billionaire Elon Musk was also spotted alongside Donald Trump. They were sitting together. That's getting a lot of press this morning. And outside, the police say the line stretched for more than a mile, with some people turned away after the stadium hit capacity. Now, inside, Erica Kirk, now named CEO of Turning Point USA, promised her husband's work will continue and grow stronger. And also, I think notable, Charlamagne, President Trump, he made a statement saying that there would be an announcement coming sometime today related to autism, something that Charlie Kirk reportedly was involved in. Some are saying he's going to talk about a cure to autism. So we'll have to stay tuned and hear what that's going to be.
I always respect and wonder about people who have that type of strength that, Erica Kirk showed on up there, to forgive the killer of somebody that they love. But I don't know if I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like forgiveness or not having forgiveness is probably like grief. It probably comes in waves. Like some moments you probably feel like, you forgive the person who killed somebody you love because you're supposed to. Yeah. But then I'm sure there's some days where you like F that person.
Yeah, especially because, good morning, Mimi. Especially because she got to look at their kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And have those conversations with their kids as they continue to ask questions for the rest of their lives now.
And I wonder, do you even give yourself an opportunity to really like feel what it is you're feeling, or do you just default to forgiveness because that's what your Bible says you should do? That's what the Christian in you says you should do. It says you're supposed to forgive. But do you really feel that way?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if that's possible.
I don't know.
She says she felt every emotion that, a human person could feel.
I believe that.
Yeah, seeing what happened to her husband. So, I'm sure it goes in waves. Some days she's in, some days she's out, up and down, So.
Well,
all right, y'all.
What we got next hour, Mimi?
Coming up at 7, we'll tell you, inflation is hitting everybody in every state, but one state has a plan to fight back, and we'll tell you what state that is.
Yes, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious. Envy and Jess are off today. LL Cool Bay is here, Loren LoRosa, and it's time for Front Page News with Mimi Brown. First off, I want to salute nothing in the NFL because the Cowboys got washed yesterday, so I could care less. But I do want to salute South Carolina's own A'ja Wilson. She was named WNBA MVP yesterday for a record 4th time. You see me in here with my A'ja Wilson hoodie on this morning. Yeah. Okay, salute the big A'ja. Nobody has won MVP 4 times in the WNBA ever. So she's the first. So dropping the clues bombs for A'ja Wilson. Now, Mimi, what we got for Front Page News this morning?
All right, well, good morning, Charlamagne and Loren. We're still talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and Disney is facing a wave of backlash this morning after ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely over comments he made about conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Now, subscribers, they began canceling Disney Plus and Hulu in large numbers, so much so that the website, it crashed repeatedly over the weekend. Now, ABC pulled Kimmel's show after pressure from affiliates like Sinclair and Nexstar, and a warning from FCC Chair Brendan Carr, who said the late night host crossed a path with insensitive comments about Kirk's death. Now, Sinclair went even further, demanding that Kimmel apologize to Kirk's family and donate to Turning Point USA before the show could return. Now, ABC also said that Sinclair's 55-minute tribute to Kirk would run in Kimball's place. But on Friday night, when it came time to air, it seems that the network made a different decision. Instead, viewers saw a rerun of Celebrity Family Feud while the Kirk special aired on YouTube. But now Carr may be setting his sights beyond late night TV. In an interview on conservative commentator Scott Jennings' podcast, the FCC chair questioned whether ABC's daytime talk show, The View, still qualifies as, quote, a bona fide news program. Let's listen to that.
I would assume you can make the argument that The View is a bona fide news show, but I'm not so sure about that. And I think it's worthwhile to have the FCC look into whether The View and some of these other programs that you have still qualify as bona fide news programs and therefore exempt from the equal opportunity regime that Congress has put in place.
You know, it's so interesting, right? Because I know folks keep talking about the FCC and this is an attack on free speech. At some point, we have to acknowledge this is simply Donald Trump's hit list. You know what I'm saying? Like months ago, Donald Trump was saying he wanted the Stephen Colbert's and the Jimmy Kimmels off the air. Months ago, he was saying he wanted The View off the air. I think over the summer, the White House, warned The View about being pulled off the air after Joy Behar made some comments about Trump. I think she called Trump a loser or something like that. So we got to acknowledge at some point, I understand the whole free speech conversation, but this is actually just Donald Trump's hit list.
Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. He tweeted he posted on Truth Social that, of course, applauding ABC suspension and now calling for NBC to now drop Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers. So you're absolutely right. Yep. Whoever he doesn't like, he's literally going after. So, but with that said, all of this rhetoric is growing increasingly dangerous. Over the weekend, an ABC station in Sacramento, California, was shot at. Video shows 3 bullets fired through the lobby glass. Investigators have arrested a 64-year-old man in connection with that shooting. though they say the motive is still unclear. But the incident came just one day after protesters gathered outside that same ABC station to oppose the network's suspension over the Jimmy Kimmel show.
So was he shooting at protesters or shooting at the station?
They were shooting at the station a day after the protests. So, you know,
they love Jimmy Kimmel that much?
I think people just feel like their constitutional rights is being like, you know how them people are about the Constitution. But do you ever thought that you would get to this point and like seeing really?
Yes.
This is scary as heck to me.
Yes, I did.
I'm so scared.
And one thing that, but I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna always be a backlash. Americans are entitled to freedom. Americans don't know anything else, okay? This ain't a black thing. This ain't a white thing. This ain't a gay, straight thing. If you are an American person, you are entitled to freedom. And if Americans feel like their freedoms are being taken away, they're going to revolt in some way, shape, or form. And it ain't, and by the way, it's going to be the white Americans. Let's be clear on that. Them same Americans that storm Capitol Hill are going to be the same ones that flip when they feel like their freedoms are really being stripped away.
Well, I like to see how Americans feel after this story, because after months of back and forth over whether TikTok would be banned in the U.S., the White House says the app will stay, but there's going to be a major change. So while TikTok may remain, the algorithm that drives the For You page will now be controlled by the United States instead of China, which could mean what you see on the app will look very, very different. So over the weekend, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, she explained more about what this deal will look like. Let's listen to that.
But this deal does put Americans first. And let me just be very clear. This deal means that TikTok will be majority owned by Americans in the United States. There will be 7 seats on the board that controls the app in the United States, and 6 of those seats will be Americans. And the data and privacy will be led by one of America's greatest tech companies, Oracle, and the algorithm will also be controlled by America as well. So all of those details have already been agreed upon. Now we just need this deal to be signed, and that will be happening, I anticipate, in the coming days.
Damn, so Oracle got they got Paramount now, they got TikTok. I heard they're about to get Warner Brothers.
You know knew that was happening though. Like you knew that this whole conglomerate of like, you control the media, you control everything.
I did, but I didn't know that they was gonna have TikTok and be trying to get Warner Brothers.
They need you need social media.
But no, this is Larry Ellison. This is Oracle. This is the people that just bought Paramount.
Yeah, but I thought that people were connecting that with the Trump administration at some point too.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, we're also learning that the Fox Corp, led by the Murdoch family, they own Fox News, Wall Street Journal, they will also have a role in this deal. Supporters say this addresses, of course, the national security concerns, but critics warn it will open the door to something else, political and corporate interests shaping now what Americans see. And while the deal does keep TikTok online, just like what you guys are saying, there are just more questions than answers. Like, who will be those 6 Americans who sit on the board?
That's right.
And how much power will Oracle have? Like you were just saying, Larry Ellison is the co-founder, but he's also a Trump ally. He's going to have control over your feed, your data, your privacy. What will that look like now as TikTok now kind of goes government control, goes privately backed by the United States. So we'll see. And then one other note is that reports say that once this deal is complete, you'll need to delete the old version and download the new version. So
I'm so glad I've never been on TikTok.
I'm about to say, Unc ain't even start the first one.
I ain't even start the first one.
All we was trying to do on TikTok was get ready with me and dance a little bit. Now it's all it is.
Yeah. I wonder what this will mean for creators though, and what they're going to do, because some of their content may be suppressed, but we'll see what happens. And lastly, switching gears to your wallet, New York is rolling out the first of its kind in the nation. It's an inflation refund check. So nearly 8 million residents will begin receiving their payments at the end of this month. The checks will range from $200 to $500, depending on your income and your filing status. State officials say because prices went up, the state collected more in taxes, so they're giving you back your money or some of your money. To qualify, you must be a New York resident who filed taxes wages in 2023 and meet income limits. There's nothing else you need to do. No forms, no signups. The checks will be mailed automatically in a plain envelope from the state tax department.
God bless, man. Congratulations to everybody who about to get a little quick extra $200 to $500 check, man. Okay. Absolutely. If you don't think that's a lot of money, then have $0. All right. Okay. Anybody who don't think an extra $200 or $500 ain't gonna help nobody, you out your damn mind. I remember having a conversation with someone who I'm not gonna say, and when everybody was getting the stimulus checks, they said to me, you know, I don't care about nobody getting no stimulus check. If $1,200 make you vote for Trump, then you know that's on you. I said, boy, you've been rich too long.
Yeah. You've
been rich way too long if you don't think $1,200 can help out a person in America in 2025. You out your damn mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially with all the prices going up on everything, that $200 to $500 is going to come in handy. So
that's right.
That is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me on social at Mimi Brown TV. And for more news coverage, follow Black Information Network and download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi. We see you tomorrow.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club. Y'all finished or y'all done?